everyone, so I've got a combination of holiday releases for you today. I've got this eyeshadow quad from Givenchy. I'm going to give you swatches and 2 looks with this. I also have one of the lipsticks from that Givenchy holiday collection. I have this eyeshadow palette from Byredo, so I'm going to be trying probably 2 looks with this one. We're going to see how it goes, if I can get 2 looks from it, and I'll give you a swatch video of this one as well. I've got these beautiful brushes to show you. This is the Chikuhodo BEAUTYLISH collab, so I'm going to show you how I've been using them and getting on with them, and I'm actually going to try them with one of the eye looks today. And I've picked up a couple of the Fenty holiday sort of gift releases. This is a new shade in the lip gloss, so I'm going to be showing you what I've picked up there, and I'll try on the lip gloss at the end. This one is called the Gloss Bomb Swirl. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 47, not a professional, just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I like to review the latest products for you, show you some of my favourite looks, give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this, please do like and subscribe. It's super helpful to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos from me. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back to my channel, and I really do appreciate every single one of you for returning. I really, really do. Anyway, my skin tone, if that's helpful to you with these colours, I've got fair to light skin with neutral undertones and blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get on with this video. So I'm going to start with the Givenchy eyeshadow and lipstick. So I've actually got a swatch video of these two together. So before I do anything else, I'll play that video for you now. So this is a limited edition eyeshadow with 9 shades in it, and it cost £67. This has multiple finishes of satin and metallic and matte, even though there's only one matte, I think. I'll show you now. And this offers a multitude of combinations. So yes, you can get a very neutral look, an everyday look, a party look, and just different colour stories. So it's a very good palette, actually. It's a very well-rounded palette, which I'll show you now. This did come with 2 dual-ended brushes, which I am so sorry I cannot find because I never use them. But it did come with them, so sorry about that. And if you notice with these eyeshadows, each one of them has been moulded into the shape of the Givenchy iconic prism design. So that's quite cool, isn't it? I do like the appearance of this overall. So I created 2 looks with this yesterday, which I'm going to play the video for you to see the 2 looks, and I try on the lipstick as well in that, so you're going to see all of them being tried on together. But before I do that, I'll just go quickly over how I got on with this and also give you a comparison. I thought it was worth comparing it to this beautiful Celestial Rose one from Lancome, which is also just launched. So here they are up against each other. So if you were wondering, can you get neutral and blue sort of silvery looks from both of these? The answer is yes, even though this is more of a white snowflake than a silver. And I will actually swatch the blue and the whites together here so you can see them together. Sorry, that's Flurry putting a little say in, as she likes to do on my videos. So here we have the Givenchy, and here we have the Lancome. So the Lancome is a lot more shimmery, a bit more impact, I'd say. You're getting more of a smooth, less glitter finish. Both beautiful formulas, but I think this one's a little bit more party impressive. But again, this is gorgeous. It really is a beautiful formula, but they are very similar. So I would be picking one or the other of these palettes, not both if I were you. And these 3 shades are from the Givenchy palette, and these 2 are from the Lancome. So again, you can see lots of similarities here, just a bit more impact again with the Lancome. But we are getting different formulas here in the Givenchy. So you can see here that this one's more of a sort of metallic, shiny one. So they do have more high impact ones as well. And the price difference between these two is around £5–6, very similar prices. So if I was you, I would pick one or the other. One thing I would say that Givenchy does have is it has this black one here, which works very well as a liner. You'll see that in my video now where I used it as a liner on both looks. So this one doesn't have that, but then this blue shade here works very well as a liner. So it really depends on what you prefer. But for me personally, these are very closely tied. They're beautiful formulas. They really are extremely easy to apply, both of them. So it's a hard one to pick, but then this one wins on beauty for me. So I would go for the Lancôme, but honestly this one does come a very close second. And I absolutely love this shade here, which certainly the Lancôme doesn't have. It just has that pink. So I'll just show you quickly. I actually swatched it with some of the other shades from the palette, but this is the one, this sort of coppery, orangey red brown. That's a long explanation for you there, but it's beautiful, isn't it? I love this one, I really do, it's beautiful. So you can see it with these colours. So you're not getting that with the Lancôme. So you're getting this sort of pinky, peachy one with the Lancôme, but then Givenchy doesn't have that. It's not easy to pick, is it? So I'll play this clip for you now where I'm going to do one blue look using these two mostly on the mobile lid. For both of them I use this one. This is the only matte. I'll just swatch that for you on its own actually. There is the matte shade. It's quite light, extremely easy to blend, very quickly laid down. Beautiful actually. So I use this as my base for both of them, and one look is using these two and the other look, surprise surprise, using the brown, this one, and this one, and then the inner corner I went for this one I think on the first look. So, and whereas with the blue and the silver I stuck with these two, but for both looks I used the black to line. So I'll play that clip for you now so you can see that, and I'll also be showing you in that video the lipstick. So I'll just give you a little bit of information about the lipstick before I play the clip. So here is the beautiful case, completely covered in these gorgeous crystals. Obviously you have to love crystals, but I think it is fabulous, I really do. So this has two shades, their iconic shade N306 and then this exclusive shade N502, which is a delicate sophisticated brown, and that's the shade that I have gone for here. So you can see how this looks, but I can tell you now it is an absolute winner for me, and it's a beautiful autumn Christmas shade. It really is a perfect shade. So you're getting that brown, but it's a slightly pinkish brown, which gives it that holiday autumnal finish. Love it. And this gives you a luminous semi-matte finish, by the way. It's a very comfortable lipstick, very comfortable. It's not a matte that's drying in any way. It's a hydrating formula, really beautiful. And the description does actually say that this has got hyaluronic acid spheres in the lipstick and something called Acmella oleracea. Is that how you say it? Never heard that before in my life, but anyway, apparently it's got that extract, which is how your lips are instantly smoothed and hydrated, which I can absolutely vouch for. Super comfortable lipstick. Anyway, enough talking about both of these. I will play that clip so you can see the two looks. So here's that clip. So can you see just how beautiful it is? It really is. And I do think I would like to go back. Where is it? I've put it down now. I'd like to go back and repeat the deeper look that I did, but not use this one and this one together on the lid. I would think I would go straight for this as my transition, then this to add some depth, this and this over the lid. I think they would be beautiful, but also this and this. So lots of possibilities. I don't think I could leave this colour out if I was doing a look because it is so beautiful, but obviously you could go for deepen up with this and have this and this, or this and this. Lots of different possibilities. And then the blue, you could use the blue as a liner in some of the looks. I really like doing that when I did it with the long comb. So in this instance I've used the black as a liner in both. It really is a very, very good shade for that. There was no fallout from a single one of these, not even a tiny drop of fallout. So really good formula, and this works brilliantly as a liner like I said, but I think the blue would be really good for that pop as well. So you can add that in with the brown looks when you've got the brown look. That's something I did with Lancome like I said and loved it. So yeah, lots of possibilities. It's a very well-rounded, well thought out palette, beautiful formulas. You will not be disappointed in the slightest if you get this. Honestly, it is gorgeous, it really is. So now before I move on to the next eyeshadow palette, I want to show you these brushes which I've picked up. These absolutely stunning brushes by Chikuhodo and Beautylish, their collab. So before I talk about them anymore, I'll play you my clip. You might have already seen it. I uploaded it yesterday on YouTube. But anyway, here's my clip of unboxing these and showing you just how fabulous they look up close. So here it is. So if you're not familiar with Chikuhodo, they are one of the top Japanese brush brands. They are extremely expensive, but they are extremely good. They really are. One of my some of my favourite brushes I use regularly are the Chikuhodo, and I'm never disappointed when I use them. And this packaging, I didn't need these, I really didn't, but I just couldn't resist when I saw this packaging. They're just, I love the fact they're for the holidays as well, I think. And I think that what I'll be doing is using them now throughout this season and then putting them away to get out again for next season, because it's really nice when you've got that sort of theme. I love theming my home, I love theming my makeup, theming my clothes. I'm sure you all do. So theming your brushes, love the idea. So the design on these, it says that they are showcasing a stunning Maki-e design inspired by the Kinkaku-ji temple and the tranquil beauty of winter in Kyoto. I mean, isn't it absolutely stunning? It really is. I'll try and get up a bit closer for you there. Look at that. So these are made using uncut Chikuhodo goat bristles, which are exceptionally soft. You won't find softer, honestly you will not. It is so smooth and soft, it's beautiful. These handles, which are super lightweight by the way, great for travel if you're trying to keep the weight down, because they really are very light. You wouldn't need to worry about them being heavy. But these actually are made from maple wood. So lovely grip on them, but very lightweight. And these are handmade as well by the legendary Chikuhodo craftspeople in Kumano, Japan. Beautiful. So you may see these aren't very clean, and that's because I've used them today. So somebody asked yesterday, is this something you can use for liquid foundation? I did think from looking at it, it might be, but it's not dense enough. It's described as being a foundation and bronzer brush. So I tried to go with foundation, but it's just not dense enough. It's way too soft for that. So I think when it says foundation and bronzer, it must mean powder foundation and bronzer. So I didn't use it for powder foundation because I had liquid on today. But what I did is I used it for my bronzer. So I always tap in bronzer when I first apply and then I sweep. And it worked really, really well for that. I also used it at the very end after my blush to go around the edges with finishing powder as a sort of buffing brush, and it worked well for that. So what I wanted to do really with this kit is, because it's only 4 brushes, I wanted to see, can I really do lots of things with it? Because when you buy these sets, I think it's always a shame when you have to pull out lots of other brushes. So can you limit using other brushes and just stick to these? And I wanted to be able to tell you that really. So you definitely can't do your liquids with this. So you need your liquid brush for your concealer and for your foundation, but it worked for the powders. So this worked for finishing powder and bronzer. And then I moved on to this one, and I used this one for my blush. So it's very good for applying the blush. And then I used it for the highlight with a tip. So you can use it for both purposes. So it does cover all powder face products. So now we're left with two brushes, which I haven't tried yet. So these are just two eye brushes. So I've never done an eye look with two eye brushes. I use about 4 or 5, but I wanted to see if I can do this. So this has quite a tip on it, so you could do sort of fine detail, but it's also quite a fluffy brush. So can I turn it on the side and sort of use it for everything as a sort of fluffy and fine detail brush? And then we've got this one for lining. So I'm going to test that out now with the Byredo palette. So let's get on to the Byredo palette, and before I do anything, here's my swatch video of the Byredo palette. So this is £60. It launched here in the UK in Harrods and it sold out within a few hours of launching, I'm afraid. So we will have to wait for this to be available elsewhere. But from experience before with Byredo, they do sell out fast and they usually pop up in lots of different places at different times and they vanish quickly. So whenever I see it pop up somewhere else, I will definitely let you know. Keep an eye on my community tab here on YouTube and on my Instagram, and I will let you know if this has popped up anywhere else. But when it does, from experience, grab it fast. These do not hang about. But anyway, again, I love the packaging. I love the way they always have some sort of stone pebble theme. They're very pleasant to hold, that sort of ergonomic, beautiful feel. Really enjoy holding these and looking at them. So this is actually my first one. I say holding these. I believe they've all had some sort of pebble theme. This is my first small one. I did get the bigger one, which also had the pebble theme. Was it called Mineralscapes? That beautiful palette that came out earlier this year. So this costs £60 and the finishes here are matte, metallic, satin and shimmer. Formulated with advanced colour processes and pigmented for incredible shade fidelity and outstanding adhesion. It's vegan, pressed powder, made in Italy, a creamy formula that delivers intense colour payoff. And you get 8 grams in here. The Givenchy, by the way, was also made in Italy. I don't think I mentioned that. I just remembered as I said that. So another Italian formula, which we love to see. Now, somebody mentioned how this colour story looked very similar to the Melt Smoke Sessions. This is the Melt Smoke Sessions palette. Now, I've only actually used this once and I must say I didn't love the look I created with it. I found it too dark, so I do feel a little bit concerned about using this Byredo one if it'll be too dark for me again, because this one does actually have these brighter colours. This is actually a beautiful palette though. I think I need to go back into this and do something different with it. But I'm going to swatch the shades in this, which I think are similar to the Byredo. So there's quite a few here that are looking quite similar, so let's compare them. Here we have the golden shade from the Byredo palette, and these are the 3 from the Melt. So they don't actually match up, it is different. So this is the matte shade from the Byredo palette, and these are the 2 matte shades from the Melt palette. So not a massive difference between these two, I suppose, but still different. Here they are compared to each other. The bottom row here is Byredo. I just left out that sort of purpley shade because there's nothing to compare it with. And then this one is the Melt. So these are the closest matches between the two. So you can see very, very similar when you see them side by side. So I think if you already have this Melt one, you pretty much have the Byredo, almost. And they do look a bit brighter and more shimmery in the Melt, so I think we are going to get more of a dark finish, more of a smoky finish with the Byredo. I am a little concerned that this will be too dark for me. I don't like things to be too dark, so I'm going to try and make this work. Now there's 2 things I'm going to do. I'm going to apply it on one eye the way I always apply it, but I'm going to apply it on the other eye the way that they actually suggest to do it on their website, which for me is something very strange. I'll show you that when we get to it. I say very strange, it's not strange, I've seen it done before, but it's something I don't think works with these colours anyway. But anyway, they added that clip in with the advice for this, so I thought I'd give it a go, but I'm not very hopeful. So I'm going to start with this brush, and as I said, I'm going to attempt to just use this one. So I'm going to go into the only matte, this is the only one, the rest have a bit of shimmer in. Obviously this one's the really metallic-y one, but this is the most smooth. Now this is way too dark for me to be a transition, but it's all we've got. So I'm just putting a little tiny dot of it on the end of the brush, and I'm just going to keep working and working and working, hoping that I can smooth this out and it will work as a transition. So obviously I'm using a new brush here as well, which might put it a bit at a disadvantage because I'm not used to the brush, but at the same time this is Chikuhodo we're talking here, so you can see that this brush seems to be doing a pretty good job. The fine tip gets it right into my crease, but then when you go on the side, it is giving me that fluffy brush effect. So it does seem to be doing the job of, oh, that worked well, you know. It does seem to be doing the job of both, so the brush is working well. It'd be good for me to learn to use one brush to do two jobs as well, because sometimes, especially when you're packing to go away, I do go on quite a lot of short trips, and the less I pack the better, and the more simple I can make it the better. So one brush for two jobs is really good. So I'm just keeping going, blending, haven't added any colour at all. I really don't want this to be too dark as my base colour. So I'm just still going and going to try and blend this out, but also bring it up a little bit without adding any colour, because if I just put a tap on the end of this, I'm going to have way too much depth for me. And now I'm going to use the pointed tip with a little bit more on the brush to just go underneath. So it's working again. By now I would have used two brushes, so it's done the job of two so far, so that's good for the brush, and it does feel very soft but firm enough to do the detail, so it's actually very good. So I think for the other side I'm going to try this purpley one. Now this is always a colour that can be a problem, but let's see. Byredo formulas are very good, and certainly with the Mineralscapes palette, which is my first, I say they're always good, that was my first Byredo palette, so in my experience they're very good, because I did get the Byredo Mineralscapes, the big palette that launched, and every single formula in that was beautiful and very, very easy. So I've already got quite a bit of faith, but that was just the one. I do need to try more to have that sort of full faith like I have in Natasha Denona and other brands. But this purple doesn't look very purple, it's so dark, but it is blending out very, very easily, so it's not a purple that causes problems, but it just doesn't look purple at all really. But if you've got a different skin tone to me, or you just enjoy really, really deep looks, you could get so much out of this. I mean, this is one tap, tiny tap, and I've got all of that, so these shades will definitely work well as liners, I'm sure they will, so I'll be trying that at the end with that liner brush. But this is how these shades are looking when they're really blended out. So if, like me, you have hooded eyes, this brush will definitely be your friend. It works really nicely getting into this crease and then going above the crease here. And now taking a little bit more and taking it underneath using the tip of the brush again. Well, that worked really well, so that's a relief, because most of the rest of the look I don't need brushes. I tend to use my fingers for shimmers. So the first look, let me think. Actually, I will go into this one for the first look with the brush. So this one was called Royal Mauve, by the way. I forgot to read the names on the back. And this one was called Midnight Soul. So the one I've just gone into is called Mystic River. So I'm actually going to slightly deepen up with this, very cautiously, because I really don't want too much darkness on my eyes. It just makes me look, I don't know, I'm very fair, and too much darkness sometimes just doesn't look right on me, especially when I'm not wearing any sort of tan and I'm in my full pale skin appearance. So that's added a little bit of depth there to the outer V. And I'm going to take a tiny bit of that shade on my finger and add a bit more there, just on the lid, not into the outer V, just to start the look. I'm going to stop by there. So this one has a little bit of shimmer in it. Can you see the glitter there? So far no fallout from anything, so good start from a fallout point of view. I am looking very dark. I definitely need to put some light into this soon. So I'm going to try this one next, which is called Opulenza. And I'm going to take this with my finger next to that shade there. Aren't they pretty together? This really is a vampy look, isn't it? With Halloween coming up, never mind holiday. This is giving me sort of Halloween vampy vibes. I'm going to leave nearly half my lid free for that lightest shade so I can hopefully really lighten this up. So I'm going to take the Eminent Gold on my little finger and I'm now going to put this across all of the rest of the lid, so going right into the inner part there and bringing it to meet the rest. And yeah, this is going to give me the pop of light that I really need, so this doesn't become too dark for me. That really changes it, doesn't it? And I'm going to take the same colours that I used onto the brush and put them below to match. The gold is a little bit bitty, so there is a tiny bit of fallout there, and also I felt a bit of it going into my eye, so you need to be a bit careful, especially when applying this underneath, but it's not terribly bad. Now for the inner corner, I don't really want to use that gold, so I'm actually going to go into my Mario palette, into the, this is the neutral, so any palette with a light shade like this would work. I am sticking to my one brush rule, so I'm not going to use my classic BK Beauty 207. And just put a pop of light with no shimmer. I want the shimmer to stay on the lid. And just a little pop of light there, which I think you really need quite a lot. And I bring the light up here to the bridge of the nose to really lighten that area. And with a look like this, I think it's quite important to get that. I'm also taking this underneath the brow to lighten that, and I think it might help a bit to sort of soften the edge of this deeper shade here. Well, this brush is phenomenal. So far I've done an entire eye look and I've used one brush. I could honestly say that has never ever happened with me before. And see how this light shade as well helps to sort of tidy up the edge there. So now I'm going to go into that first matte that I used with the liner brush from the Chikuhodo set, just to see if I can get a bit more of a deep line here. And the answer to that is yes, it works very well, because you saw how much when I sheared it out, just that one dab did my whole lid. So obviously when you're packing it onto a brush like this, which is so much more dense, you're getting so much more out of it. And with a brush shaped like this, you can almost stamp the wing in place like that, see? And then taking it close to the lash line, again you can sort of stamp it. I'm going to glide it a little bit. I think that worked really well. So that is pretty much the final look. That was easy and beautiful to use. Brushes, so 2 brushes, that's a record for me on this channel and probably in my life. And I really like this look. I think if it didn't have the gold, I wouldn't like it, but as soon as I add the gold, I really like it. And it is giving it a party look, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to pretty much do the same look on this side, but obviously we've got the plum, not the first sort of darker matte. They're both very dark, but this one's, I don't know, is it slightly more grey-black, isn't it, I think? whereas this one's got the plum, slight plum anyway. So I'll play the clip now showing you how they recommend you apply these. So this is a trick I've seen on lots of short clip videos and I've just never tried it. I do like to use brushes and I do like to take my time, and I tried this on my hand and I just thought it looks rubbish. But anyway, just because they say to do it, I'm going to give it a go. So basically, I'm going to do the same 3 colours. So I'm going to start with that one. I'm going to just put it down my eye like that, and then go into this one. I'm not mixing them together, it's just one side by side. And then I'm going to take the gold. So now I have the 3 and all I've done is rub them down my lid. I'm actually going to take the gold off my finger because doing this yesterday on my hand, the gold seemed to overwhelm everything and it just looked like one gold strip. So now, which finger? I'll take my little finger so I can get into the inner corner. So now I'm just going to swipe across. So no brushes, all finger, and just blend it up here. See, it just becomes a mush. That's exactly what I thought yesterday when I did it on my hand. It just becomes like I've got the 3 of them and mixed them together. You know when you mix paints together and if you keep mixing colours you always end up with brown? That's honestly how I feel. That's what I think has happened. Obviously if you like layering these one on top of the other, whereas here I've separated them, which I love to do. But no, I don't like that at all. What do you think? I mean, compare it to that side. So they say that's a good way of doing it, but sorry, Byredo, I don't agree with you. I'm going to go in with my finger now and do it a little bit more separated. Not smushing it across. It just diluted the other colours so you can't see them at all. It just all becomes sort of less pretty gold, I suppose. So that's almost fixed it. Not completely, you can still see the difference between these 2 sides, but anyway. What I did do on this side was build up a bit more in the outer V, so I'll do that as well using this shade is the one I used. So I'll put a little bit here. And then put the matching shade beneath. Back into my Mario palette to do exactly the same with the inner corner and under the brow. And then I'm going to line it in exactly the same way, but I think I'll use the purple on this side. I don't really see much of a difference. You can slightly see that it's plum. But anyway, we'll try the purple to line. So again, I'm going under the brow, but also sort of softening the edge like I did on the other side. So taking the plum on the brush this time. So the plum works as a liner, but it's not quite as deep as here. It's not a matte, this one. I think it must be a satin. It's a slightly different formula. So if I try that stamp with it still works. And then just bringing it here, tight to the lashes. You can just about see the plum there against the gold, so you can see the difference. So there's not a massive difference between these 2 looks, is there? The only real difference, I suppose, is this shade here. So it's the deeper sort of smoky grey black or the plum. And obviously I've made both looks the same. To be honest, I don't think I could wear this any other way than the way I have. So for me, this is a bit of a one-trick pony because, sorry, Florrie's really bad today. I couldn't do this look without making the gold a big part of the look because it would just be way too dark. So for me, this has to be all shades. So I would definitely just get one look out of this. You might get something very different, but I couldn't really say I think this and this and this and this would work. The only difference I think you can make with this is which shade is your transition and liner. So 2 extremely similar looks that work well for me, but if you've got a deeper skin tone, you might find that this shade is light enough, so you might be able to use that as your inner corner, the gold, and then use this one all across the lid. So there could be 2 different looks for you, but for me personally it's just this one. But I actually really like it. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. The gold has definitely finished it. So I'll put on my mascara and be back to show you the final look. So I've got my mascara on and that is the final look. What do you think? I have to admit, I really like it so much more than I thought I was going to. This is probably the most unique look out of all of the holiday releases I've tried. It is very different. This could be quite a scary colour story to some people because of how dark it is, but that gold really does make it work. So I love this. I'd love to hear what you think. It's something I would definitely like to reach for again. And if I've got a gold outfit, even though we've seen some lovely golds from palettes such as the YSL, this sort of deep gold, I think is really that giving me that sort of antique, I don't know, vintage vibe. I love it. I really do. I think it's really nice. So specific outfits, specific looks for this to match it up with, but definitely something I would be able to match up with because these are colours that work well for me, especially this time of year. Anyway, let's finish now with these couple of things I picked up from Fenty. So if you go on the Fenty website, you'll see they've got all sorts of pretty boxed gifts basically that you can get. So I've only picked up 2, but I wanted to show you them because they're both favourite formulas and I wanted to basically open them with you. So this box comes with a little hanging thing so you can basically hang it from your tree or just give it as a gift or just open it now, which is what I'll be doing. So this is the Fenty Gloss Bomb Swirl Twisted Lip Luminizer called Fussy Flex, and this was £22. So let's open the box. I do love the packaging, but then look at how beautiful the colours look inside this, if I can get it out. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Just have to really hope that I don't mess it up now when I use it. So let's see what this is like. I know the formula is perfect, my favourite lately. I can't stop using Fenty lip products generally. So that's how it's looking. Let's see how close up I can get with that to show you. The smell isn't very strong this time, but it's still got that fruity smell which I actually love. So let's try this on. Quite a bit of pigment coming from that, you know, and shine. Oh, how lovely. I was not expecting to get as much pigment because it's mixed with the lighter shade. Oh, and I can really see the sparkle. This is easily already the best gloss for the holiday season that I've tried so far, easily. I honestly think I could throw away every lip product I've got in my whole collection and just stick with Fenty Gloss and Fenty Gloss Bomb Stick lipsticks. I have now got every single shade. I went back and got more and more and more till I've got the whole collection. I'm surrounded by them now. I keep them with me all the time. But this one, you don't need to mix. Although I do love, it might sound strange, but I do love to put the gloss on and then put a pop of one of the Gloss Bomb sticks in the middle. Maybe I'll do that now to show you. So seeing as we're going for this sort of grungy, vampy look, maybe I'll try, what's this one called? I've got Black and Berry and I've got Hot Chocolate. So which one shall I try? Maybe I'll try the Black and Berry. And again, normally you do it in the reverse order, but this is one of the ways when you're using one of the bold shades from Fenty that I like to do it. So I put the gloss on first and then I just put a bit of this in the middle. And see how that's just given me a little bit more colour and a bit more depth. Oh, look at it with the gloss. So I'm now sort of double glossing because the Gloss Bomb sticks, they are lipsticks, but they're gloss and lipstick in one. This won't last very long, this will come off quite quickly, I can tell you that, but I love these, I absolutely love them. I think it would have worked well with this deeper brown as well. Anyway, that's definitely helped the look, I think, because it's now a bit deeper and matches better with the eye look. What do you think? Well, that's an obvious winner. And the other one I've picked up is this. I collect these. I use these pretty much, so I sort of alternate actually almost every day between these and the Laneige lip mask. Every single night I put a lip mask on without fail, and it's one or the other. It's Laneige or this one. So I've picked up the latest one. This is Salted Caramel. So let's just take a look at this. This is called Plush Pudding Intensive Recovery Lip Mask, and it's £19.50. So if you're not familiar with these, they are so good. And I love the packaging on them. So you take the top off here and you can see where it comes out, and you literally just twist and it'll come through here. Obviously it take a bit longer because it's the first time. And there it is. I can't possibly put that on my lips because I've got way too much already. But just to show you what the sort of texture's like, it's a very thick texture, very, very grippy. For me, this is the thickest, most grippy texture on the market. The Ole Henriksen is close, but not quite as thick. So I use the Ole Henriksen a lot during the day and similar type of top-ups. And this is my favourite at night. But do you know the smell on that is quite strong, and it really is salted caramel. Oh, that's lush. I love that. Oh wow, glad I got that one. And I don't wait to use them, I just rotate them because I can't resist. So this will be used tonight. I've got the whole set now, so every time they release a new one I will grab it because they are so good. Same with Laneige. I got the Laneige Christmas ones as well, so I'm enjoying all those. I've got the little mini pots and I'm rotating through those and these, so love that. I think that's the strongest scented one out of these Plush Pudding ones I've had so far. So anyway, that's everything for today. So what do you think of everything I've tried on? Certainly, obviously I haven't tried on in this video, but I've shown you the clips of me using the Givenchy, which I absolutely loved. I thought the formula, as you know, was beautiful. And the lipstick, very classy, very elegant, very user-friendly, gorgeous colours, multiple different colour stories, and it does everything. It lines, does the inner corner, does the lot, so perfect. I cannot complain about this one at all. I think it is one of the best releases that have come out, definitely, but not quite beating the Lancome, but very, very similar shades. And the lipstick, there's a few favourites at the moment, but this is probably up there. They all seem to be just really high quality, but shade wise, that's one of the best. This is definitely one to add to my regular rotation for this season. I think it's a beautiful shade, beautiful formula, so loved that. And obviously then we had the Byredo. So the only complaint I would have is the website telling you to do that sweep thing, which I thought was hideous. But apart from that, applying it the way I like to apply it, I think is gorgeous. I really do. And I can't wait. I almost want to buy a dress that's got plum and gold just to match with this eyeshadow. That's how much I like the look. Because wouldn't it look lovely if you've got a plum and gold mixed dress? I'm going to keep my eye out for plum and gold. I really am, because I need that look. Even though I might slightly prefer this one, you know, which isn't plum and gold. Black and gold. I do have black and gold. Anyway, love this one. Love the formulas. Love the way it went on. No fallout. Oh, well, there was a bit of fallout from the gold, actually. There was a little bit. So there was tiny bit, but very nice formulas, really, really nice, very pigmented, beautiful, and the packaging, gorgeous. Both my picks from Fenty, fabulous, 1,000,000 out of 10 for Fenty lip products. They are the absolute best. I love them, and I think this is stunning. Look at it, it's so beautiful, but I'm not going to go in and out and in and out because I don't want to even test how I might ruin the way this looks, because it's so beautiful, and eventually they're bound to mix together. It's going to happen. But clearly from the one use, it hasn't changed. And as for these brushes, I think they are probably the most beautiful brush I've ever owned. I think that these handles are just stunning. But what I'm most impressed with is how I managed to do my entire eye look almost entirely just with that brush. That is an absolute first for me. Maybe I've taught myself that I don't need to have 5 or 6 brushes every time. So can you do everything on your face bar liquids with this set? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. So you need your liquid brushes. So for me that would mean 2 brushes to add on, or maybe a sponge and a concealer brush, and just that. So that's good for me to know from a travel point of view, but hopefully that helps you if you're deciding whether it's worth buying it, because It's a lovely set, but I did buy it for the way it looks more than how good it is. But Chikuhodo, you don't get better, you do not. It is the top, it really is beautiful. And I don't think the price is too bad for 4 brushes, considering it was nearly 500 for the Z series of the Chikuhodo, which I think had 6 brushes. So just over 100 for 4 is really a very good price. So definitely worth grabbing that one if you fancy it. So that was available on the BEAUTYLISH website. I don't think it'll be anywhere else. It could be, but it is a collab between the two. So at the moment it's just there. Everything I've tried on is linked below, obviously. Also, saying about my links, I keep meaning to say to everybody, thank you so much to everyone who has used my links, because obviously I do get a little bit of commission off links, and it's been so helpful because Christmas has cost me an absolute fortune buying all of these things. So every time you use my links, I've got direct links in all my videos for my products, and I've also got links for shops. So I've noticed some of you are definitely just going in and using my links when you're shopping at certain websites, and that has been so helpful to me. So thank you so much to everyone who's done that. It's really helping me to keep going, because financing this over the last month has not been easy, I'll tell you that. But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So anyway, that's all from me for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this combination. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I've tried on and shown you today. And have you picked anything up that I've just shown you, or will you be picking them up? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please do chat with me below about that. And if you found this enjoyable and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. It really is very helpful. And if you like it as well, that would be great. And obviously, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for staying to the end of one of my videos again. I really appreciate you all so much. I really do. And I hope to see you again for my next video, which will be another Christmas release. One more left, and then I'm done. Bye everyone. Take care.